I made every monster from Garten of BanBan out of candy. First up, I'll do Jumbo Josh, a big green guy with big teeth. I started by whipping up a cake, adding green food coloring to make it the right color. Then I baked it. I cut it into shape and used candy teeth to make his teeth, chopping off the gums so that it's just the shiny white teeth. Finally, I made his eyes out of some big white chocolate pieces and used small dark chocolate pieces to make the centers. People say to eat your vegetables to grow big and strong, but Jumbo Josh is big and strong and he eats people, so I don't know if they're right. Next up is Opila Bird, the funniest looking bird in existence. This pink fella watches you menacingly. Since the Opila Bird is pink, I got this pink icy pop to start things off. I'll add a pair of dark chocolate dots to make its creepy eyes, and some yellow icing makes a beak. For his feet, I have the perfect candy bird feet. Yeah, it is convenient that that exists, and also very weird. There it is, one candy Opila Bird. Next up, I made Stinger Flynn. He's not in the game yet, so I don't know how people know what he's named. Oh, it's written on the walls. That makes sense. Anyway, he's shaped like a jellyfish. For his tentacles, or are they legs? Arms? Whatever they are, I'll make them out of these jelly snakes. Now I just need a semicircular body. It's nearly Easter, and the shops are all selling big chocolate eggs around here. What? Easter's a month away? Doesn't matter, the shops are selling it already. I cut the egg in half and used the bottom as his body. However, it's still chocolate colored. I have a solution for that. I covered it in orange icing. Oh no, wait, no. Okay, the icing melted the chocolate. Luckily, I have another solution and another egg. Edible spray-on food coloring. That's a thing? Wow, that's actually really cool, huh? Okay, so it didn't stick to the chocolate very well, but that's fine. It's oranger, so that will do. I finished off Stinger Flynn by putting his eye on top. Hey, Flynn sounds a bit like Finn. Next up is BanBan. The game is named after him. Since he and BanBalina look similar, I will make them both out of the same thing, chocolate rabbits. Also in the stores because of Easter. Coles, don't you know it's not Easter for a month? Anyways, I took this white rabbit for BanBalina and this red one for BanBan and unwrapped them both. Wait, neither one's the right color. Whatever, it's fine. I couldn't get the edible color spray in any colors except green and orange, so I can't do that again. So these two will have to do. I'll make a little pink bow out of icing and add it to BanBalina. Captain Fiddles is the last monster shown in Chapter 1. In the Chapter 2 trailer, he seems more friendly than the other monsters, and it's shown that there are different versions of him. I'm not gonna make those though, I'm just making one. I made the real Captain Fiddles by cutting some jelly into the right shape. I added candy eyes to make his eyes, cut a hole to make the mouth, and then added 2 white chocolate pieces to make his teeth. With that, I've now made every monster from Garten of BanBan Chapter 1 out of candy. Now it's time to eat them. Thanks for watching the video. Remember to eat the subscribe button. I made every monster from Garten of BanBan Chapter 2 out of candy. The first monster we meet in Chapter 2 is Nab Nab. He has the most inspirational quotes.
It's okay to be miserable and have no friends, like me.
I can really relate to this. Nab Nab is a blue guy that's basically a lump with arms and legs. Since he seems kind of stretchy, I'm gonna make him out of chewing gum. First, I had to chew it up. Then I made it into the right shape with arms and legs. I added 3 eyes on top and cut a line for his mouth. BanBan shows up next and whacks you on the head with a rock. I made BanBan in my last video, but I'm gonna make him again. I got these red candies and stuck them together in the rough shape of BanBan. I squished up a marshmallow to make the party hats on his head. Then, to get my revenge, I got my own rock and whacked him in the head. The next monsters we run into are Captain Fiddle's crew. There are 7 of these guys in different colors, so I got lots of different candies to make them. Mint gummies for emerald, chocolate for brown, licorice twists for pink, eclairs for yellow, candy burgers and hot dogs for orange. Oh wait, first I have to remove the burgers and sausages. Okay, now it's orange. Red jellies for red. And then, because cyan is bigger, I got these jumbo marshmallows and used edible food spray to paint it cyan. Yeah, I know I painted it green, but there isn't a cyan color spray. So, next up, as you head out of the hospital sector, you run into— Right, this guy is just floating there, sticking his head out of the abyss. The wiki says his name is Zolphius, so that's his name. I will start by baking a round cake, adding lots of white food coloring so it's nice and pale. Then, I dug out the eyes and mouth with a spoon to get the creepy look. I then filled it in with melted licorice to make the eyes and mouth look disgusting. Next up is Opila Bird, which is just waiting in a dark room to beat you up for throwing it into the ball pit in the last chapter. That's fair enough, but I'd rather get away without getting beat up. Sorry, Mrs. Opila Bird. To make Opila Bird, I took a bunch of white and red icing and mixed it together to make pink. I then stuck on some gummy feet, a beak, and 2 black eyes out of dark chocolate. Next is BanBalina. BanBalina is a demented school teacher in Chapter chapter 2. I'll make her out of a stack of marshmallows. Done! No, I'm not giving her arms. Or legs. That's too hard. In chapter 2, there is a room full of small opila birds. I'm gonna make all 6 of them. I got these speckled chocolate eggs that are covered in colored sugar. 5 of them are pink, and 1 of them is blue, just like in the game. I'll add dark chocolate dots as eyes. They're too small to fit beaks or feet, so they're just gonna sit there looking stupid. I'll put them on the same plate as their mother. The last new monster in chapter 2 is Slow Celine. To make her, I got a jelly snake and curled it up to make her shell. Then I cut another smaller jelly snake in half and used it to make the eye tentacles. I stuck some candy eyes on top to finish it off. Yeah, I know it's not yellow. I couldn't find yellow gummy snakes. Jumbo Josh also appears, but I don't know how I could make him bigger than I made him in the last video, so we'll just pretend I made that again. Wow, look at it. It's right there. Wow. I've now made every monster from Garten of BanBan chapter 2 out of candy. Time to eat them. I made every monster from Garten of BanBan 3 out of candy. The first creature you can encounter is Stinger Flynn, a jellyfish with strong mental powers. He can make you think you're on a long road trip, a horrible fate, or worse, outside in the sun. I would die if I had to go outside. For him, I'll make him by baking a cake. I whipped up some cake mix, threw it in the oven, and started it up. While that's baking, we'll move on to the next thing. There's a puzzle with Sheriff Toadster next, where you have to pick up a bunch of criminal buckets. To make these buckets, I got some pink marshmallows and stuck these candy eyes on them. Easy enough. Why are these buckets criminals though? What did they do? What war crimes are they hiding from us? I would make Sheriff Toadster, but he wasn't actually in chapter 3, even though he was introduced in chapter 2. So I guess I'll make him in the chapter 4 video. Next up, another monster from chapter 2 returns. Nab Nab, a blue lump with tentacles. I got these packs of gum and opened them up. They come with temporary tattoos, so obviously I had to try some out. Wicked! I chewed up 6 packets of this gum. It's really hard to chew, so I hope I don't have to chew any more for a while.
War never changes.
With the gum all chewed up, I shaped it out into the shape of Nab Nab and then added 3 candy eyes to finish him off. Looks like the cake is done. I flipped over the cake to make the dome we're looking for. This will make Stinger Flynn. I sprayed it orange using edible food spray. It is still shocking to me that this is a thing. Unfortunately, it didn't stick really well, which means he kind of just looks brown, but that's fine. To make his eye, I got this marshmallow. I stuck a chocolate circle in the middle to make a pupil, and then rammed the whole thing into the body to finish him off. Introduced in chapter 3, Nabnalina is the Banbalina to Nabnab's BanBan. That's a hard sentence to say. Anyway, she's a lump like Nabnab, except black instead of blue. Unfortunately, I don't have black chewing gum, because that's weird. So I used pink chewing gum instead. I added the same 3 eyes, and there, done. She looks good beside Nabnab. The next new character in chapter 3 is Mr. Kebabman, who appears to be a bunch of metal poles tied together. He is literally me, so relatable. To make him, I got these candy poles which are red, not grey, and then put them into shape with these candy eyes. We will pretend it's grey, isn't it so accurate, guys? Tamakatan, these guys are next. Wait, they look really hard to make out of candy. What are they supposed to be? Oh, okay, so they're like a half turtle, half chameleon monster? What? Okay, you guys are not gonna believe this, but I was able to find a turtle candy and a chameleon candy. Unfortunately, the chameleon candy is like 5 times the size of the turtle candy, but we can make it work. I cut them both in half and then stitched them together with thread like I'm Victor Frankenstein. Beautiful. Okay, next up we see Opila Bird and Tarta Bird. I've made Opila Bird before, but Tarta Bird is new. Therefore, I'll need to make them both again. This is the 3rd time I'm making Opila Bird. I'm really starting to dislike it. Anyway, I'm making them both out of these strips of candy. I laid them out in rows and cut them to shape. They keep on rolling apart, which only annoys me slightly. I added eyes and used the last of my gummy bird feet to give them feet. Again, it's weird that gummy bird feet are a product you can buy. Like, why is that a thing? I don't get it. The final monster in Garten of BanBan 3 is BanBan himself, but evil. I will need these strawberry straps. I put some out and cut them up to make BanBan. However, while he's evil, he looks kinda jacked to me, a little bit swollen. So I put some extra straps on to give him abs and make him really beefy. Candy eyes give him a face, and I chopped some candy poles into the right shape to make his hats. There, I've now made all monsters from Garten of BanBan 3 out of candy. Time to eat them. I made Garten of BanBan 4 out of candy. We'll start with monsters like Tamataki and Chamataki, and work our way up, all the way up to Queen Bouncelia. The first monster you see is Tamataki and Chamataki, returned from Garten of BanBan 3. I've already made them, but I'll make them again here. I started with a gummy snake for the body, adding these mint leaf candies for the legs. However, that only gives Tamataki's head, so we still need to add Chamataki. He's a chameleon, and do you know what's similar to chameleons? Hippos!
Huh?
No, really, they're practically the same, and I have no other good candy, so deal with it. I got this hippo biscuit and chopped off the head, and then added it to finish off this monster. Next up is Sheriff Toadster. Sheriff Toadster is a monster dedicated to catching criminals. At first, he thinks you're one, but then he realizes you're a good guy and helps you out. To make him, I melted these licorice coins. Coins are how he gets paid. Probably. Does Sheriff Toadster get paid? Is he broke? I poured it out onto some baking paper and then let it cool. Then cut it into oh, oops. Okay, turns out melting down licorice has turned it really fragile, so I placed the wreckage into a rough toadster shape. I added a candy banana to his chest to make a badge, because I don't have a good star candy, so he gets a banana badge instead. The next monster is Queen Bancelia, the benevolent ruler of this level of the kindergarten. She's gonna be hard to make, so we'll save that for the end. Mr. Kebab Man returns in the fourth game, which is odd. I mean, he's literally just a bundle of metal poles. To make him, I will use these candy poles I got, along with a candy cane. Some eyes will finish him off. His head's a bit more curved than it should be, but that's probably fine. Bitter Giggle is a jester, and the main antagonist of Garten of BanBan 4. Jesters are like clowns, and clowns are in circuses, and circuses have food, and this is a really long way of me saying that I'm gonna use cotton candy to make him. I only have green cotton candy, so for his purple side, I have to use something else. I'll use these gummy clouds, along with this gummy snake for his snake arm. Some eyes will finish the job. Actually, those eyes are too small. I got these massive gumball eyes and I'll use these instead. Now they're a bit too big, but I don't really care. What? You don't think these are real gumballs? Keep on watching and I'll show you later. Also subscribe. Next up, I'll make Nab Nab. I've made Nab Nab a few times and I always make him out of gum. However, I broke my jaw chewing on him last time. This time, I'm gonna use something a little bit stronger. Crystal candy. I smashed this piece and then arranged the remains into a nab-nabbish shape and added eyes. Rest in peace. For BanBan, I'll use these red lollies and put them into the right shape. Huh? I've used these before? Yeah, you're right, but if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Next, we have Stinger Flynn. Not Stinger Finn, I'm Finn. I've made Stinger Flynn twice before, so now I have to make him for the third time. I guess since he's a jellyfish, I'll make him out of jelly. Actually, it's shocking that I haven't already done that. Huh. Anyway, orange jelly in this little bowl will make his body, and then I chopped up some snakes to make his tentacles. They're the wrong color, but, well, you know, I don't care. Then I added another eye gumball. Huh? You don't think they're real food? Okay, I'll prove it. Next up is Choo Choo Charles? What? Apparently, Choo Choo Charles was in this game. This is a bigger crossover than Avengers Endgame. I already made a really big Choo Choo Charles, so I don't want to do that again. However, I can make a little version. I made a body by cutting a marshmallow into the right shape, but not the right color. Then I got a spider candy, cut off the legs, and added those. Eyes finish it off for a historically accurate Choo Choo Charles. The final boss fight of the game is against Kittysaurus, a dinosaur cat hybrid. I found the perfect candy for this, a lollipop. You're probably thinking that's kind of lame, but what's important isn't the lollipop, it's the wrapper. It's a dinosaur head. By adding some orange gummies to the top, we can give it ears and turn it into Kittysaurus. To defeat the Kittysaurus, you have to get the opila chick corrupted by Givanium, which will make it grow large enough to fight the dinosaur cat. To make the opila chick, I got some peeps, which are the perfect color and size to make this monster. Wait, mine are like yellow. What? Apparently, peeps also come in different colors, and I got the wrong one. To fix this, I will not do anything except digitally alter the color. Now for the final monster, Queen Bancelia. Even though I live in Australia, battleground of the kangaroo, I could not find a convenient purple candy. What a shocker. Anyway, she's also a really big monster, so this will have to be a good one. I'm gonna melt down a bunch of marshmallows and then pour it onto a flat sheet. I added purple jelly beans for her body and black jelly beans for the pouch. Then I added eyes for her and for the naughty ones. They're only able to escape when she laughs. They'd escape instantly if she ever watched one of my videos. Ha 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 ha. Then I cut out the shape of a kangaroo. Okay, I guess I cut out a shape that is similar to a kangaroo. It's not perfect. Okay, there. I've now made all of Garten of BanBan 4 out of candy. Time to eat them. Thanks to my members here for supporting the channel. Become a member to give me money.